For years they treated my sister like the perfect daughter and me like the bitter sibling, until one doctor accidentally revealed the truth. Nobody was supposed to know my younger sister Ava had this unbelievable talent for making everyone believe she was the victim no matter what actually happened, and growing up that basically turned me into the permanent villain of the family because anytime I questioned her behavior, pointed out obvious lies, or refused to go along with her drama, my parents immediately accused me of being jealous of her, which honestly never made sense because Ava already had everything our family valued most: beauty, attention, charm, and the ability to manipulate people without them realizing it, while I was quieter, more skeptical, and apparently too cold to understand her emotional struggles. And after years of constantly being painted as the difficult sister, I eventually stopped defending myself because once an entire family decides who the hero and villain are, facts stop mattering. But the one thing that always bothered me was the weird way everyone treated Ava's health problems, because for almost 10 years she constantly claimed mysterious illnesses that somehow appeared whenever attention shifted away from her, and every family gathering eventually turned into another emergency involving fainting spells, panic attacks, unexplained pain, or dramatic hospital visits that always pulled focus back onto her, while anyone who questioned it got treated like a monster, especially me after I once quietly suggested maybe she exaggerated things for attention, and my mother screamed at me for nearly an hour about lacking empathy. So eventually I learned to stay silent while our entire family revolved around Ava's endless crises, and honestly I probably would have continued ignoring my instincts forever if not for what happened after my grandfather's stroke, because suddenly real medical emergencies entered the family, and for the first time people started noticing how strangely competitive Ava became anytime someone else needed support, and things escalated fast after Grandpa was hospitalized because within days Ava somehow developed another severe condition requiring constant monitoring, pulling my mother away from Grandpa's recovery almost entirely. And I remember sitting in the hospital cafeteria watching my exhausted father quietly admit he didn't understand why every family tragedy somehow became about Ava, which was the first time in my entire life I heard anyone else question the pattern out loud. But the real disaster happened 3 nights later, because while bringing coffee back to Grandpa's room I accidentally walked past a nurse's station and overheard 2 doctors arguing about a patient refusing psychiatric evaluation despite clear evidence of fabricated symptoms, and I probably wouldn't have paid attention if I hadn't suddenly heard Ava's name, because instantly my stomach dropped, and before I could stop myself I froze outside the hallway listening while one doctor explained that Ava had been repeatedly contaminating her own blood samples and intentionally causing minor symptoms to trigger unnecessary medical interventions. And honestly I felt physically sick hearing it, because deep down part of me always suspected something was wrong. But hearing actual doctors discuss it like a documented pattern made my entire childhood suddenly feel horrifyingly different, and before I could even process it my mother appeared behind me asking what I was doing there, and apparently the look on my face was enough because she immediately pushed past me demanding answers from the doctors. And within minutes absolute chaos exploded across the hospital floor as medical staff revealed they had quietly documented years of inconsistencies in Ava's medical history but avoided direct confrontation due to legal concerns and family interference. And I swear I will never forget standing there watching my mother slowly realize the daughter she spent decades protecting had manipulated the entire family through fabricated illnesses while emotionally draining everyone around her for attention.